What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 29 of Y.I.E.L.D Today with Dallin, Candland. Yes, I've finally gotten the video set up, which is very exciting. I started around 10 p.m. of getting this set up, and I was going to get the episode out earlier, but I had said in the last episode that I would get this video set up, and I had to clean up my desk, got some help from my sisters to clean up the desk, and now I have a place where I can put my water, and you can see the microphone. And it's still very much a work in progress, but I am happy for the progress that we have made. So that is a win. I kind of want to set up an email list by the next episode, so stay tuned for that in the next episode. Anyway, I really am excited for today's topic, which is all about patience. So patience is a very powerful virtue. If you have patience, then you're going to go far in life. There's no doubt about it, like seriously, because in entrepreneurship, in school, and all these different things, like patience is one of the biggest things. Like if you're willing to be patient, continue to work hard when it's not going so well, that is just automatically going to put you in a different class, different level. I think of the things I've had tremendous success in, and those things I had tremendous patience in as well. So jumping in, let's have my 3 tips. So these are the 3 P's of patience. Number 1 is perspective. So a big thing about patience is it's not easy to do, especially in a moment, because patience is saying, I am going to be okay and be happy, or just keep going for this moment because there's a bigger picture ahead. And it's tough to do that sometimes, but there's some scriptures that have been shared that God's given for us that really kind of opened my eyes a little bit to the whole patience game and how valuable it is. So one for me is Romans 8:18, and it says, "For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory that shall be revealed in us." Another one is Proverbs 16:32, and it just says, that he that ruleth his spirit is greater than he that taketh a city, and he that controlleth his anger is better than that too. So it's so important to choose patience consistently because it gives you this perspective of life, and it just helps you to keep going in general. And there's a lot of different stories from people in life. Like Walt Disney, I think, is a good example. He had this long-term perspective, and he had this long-term dream, of course. And choosing to be patient and not to sell himself out really helped him get closer to his dream. And so for him, patience brought him perspective. Patience also brought him some serious power. And I think this is really crucial, especially in the world we live in today, where so many things are instant gratification. Like nowadays, if you want, pretty much anything can send you a text to your phone, push notifications to your phone, all these different things. It completely robs you of your power to be patient. And we've gone into this mindset and thought process that if I can't get it right now, then that's waiting too long, and so this is a crazy time that we live in. But when we choose to be patient, we're choosing to exercise our free agency and choosing to act according to the power that God has given us to be patient and to hold on. Lately, I've been thinking a lot about this and different blessings that I've kind of wanted God to show a little bit more towards me, lately. And the thing is, like, God could, but he has a timing and a plan for everything. And so I need to trust him. But then there's other things that it's up to me. I could have set this microphone arm up a while ago. I've had it for months. I've just never set it up until tonight. I just looked up a YouTube video, got some help from some siblings. It was super easy, even for me. And so here we are. Like, choosing to be patient brought a lot of power and benefits. I don't know how well this podcast in this video form is going to do for people. And I know it's going to help me reach a different audience, at least on YouTube, because you'll see I'm an actual face. Plus, I also recently got a new iPhone 6 Plus, or 6S, excuse me. It's not the best phone on the market, but it's definitely better than the iPhone 5 I was using, 5C I was using. So an upgrade is an upgrade, and I'm thankful for my mom for supplying that. And that is how I'm getting the video for this podcast. So things worked out. You find a way. You find a way. And I feel like with patience, sometimes it's saying there is no way except you let go of your patience, or you let go of your dream just for a second so you can do something that would feed your impatience. But it's like a muscle. If you choose to feed your patience muscle, it will get stronger. And this is something I've seen over and over again in my life with different struggles. I remember when I got laid off, I didn't really get laid off. They just kind of told me, like, we're done with you. Or they're just like, we really appreciated you and what you did, but we just don't really need you anymore. And it was kind of tough, for me to hear. And I had recently gone off my mission trip for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I've been home for like a couple months, and it just was kind of hard for me to hear, but thankfully I have a bigger perspective for my life, that my life is not just going to be call centers or anything like that. I believe that God has a real plan, a real path that's worth walking on for me, and it requires patience to continue to find it, to continue to look for it, and continue to live in it. It requires patience, but I've definitely seen over and over again that patience really does bring power. And again, it sets you apart. And another quick thing I'll share about patience is it's another thing. It's also about doing things tiny bits at a time and not pushing yourself to get the best version out day one, but being patient with yourself. I think that's so huge if you're able to do that. But just kind of giving yourself that time to work hard and build that thing up really helps build your patience power. We can't run faster than we have strength, it says in Mosiah 4:27, and that's something that I hold on to, is just, if we will be, because at the end of the verse says, if we will be diligent, we will win the prize. But all things must be done in order. So another super fast one I want to share before I move on to the last P is Luke 21:19, and it says, brain, work with me. In your patience possess ye your souls. That's literally what it says. Like, if you want to be patient, if you're choosing to be patient, you are choosing to possess your soul. And when I think of possessing something, I feel like it's holding on to it, not letting it go, making the most of it, being able to fully take advantage of it. That's what I think of with possessing something. If you don't possess your soul, then what possesses your soul? And it's like, what am I choosing to do? Who's really winning here? Am I winning here, or am I letting another person win here? And I shared this on my Twitter recently, that a quote from Kobe Bryant, really simple, and we really miss Kobe Bryant, and he left his mark on the world for sure. He passed back in January, as well as some other wonderful people passed in the accident, the helicopter accident, and also his daughter Gigi. So some sad stuff, and definitely a tragedy. But he said, when you give up, you let someone else win. And that is just crazy to me, whether that's Satan, whether that's whoever, you are letting somebody else win when you give up. And yeah, so that's it. We've moved on. You can tell I am passionate about this subject. The third P, so first two P's were perspective and power. If you choose to have patience, you will have those two things. I guarantee it. And that's something you can continue working on. The third P is positivity. That is so important. Positivity is just so powerful in being able to get results and being able to continue to deliver and bless the lives of other people, because you're choosing to be happy and choosing to choose good things consistently. And because you're positive, you know that things are going to work out. And that goes right along with patience. Because if, let's say, patience bro is like, yo, bro, this is going to work out. And positive bro is like, yo, of course it's going to work out. They're going to go hand in hand. And I almost knocked over my water. And that would have been so bad. I'm recording this at 4 a.m. Give me some slack. Oh, but it's good. It's good. Positivity. I wanted to go back to something I said in episode 3 of this podcast. And I'm so glad I didn't knock this over. That would have been so bad. But in verse 3, wow, you can tell I'm tired. In episode number 3 of the Y.I.E.L.D Today podcast, I can have an episode link in the comments section and the show notes, because this will be on YouTube, obviously. I talked about remembering the journey that you are on. And for me, this is so important for staying positive and knowing that things are going to work out, because my life's mission and journey is a long-term mission and journey. It's not that long in the whole scheme of the world, but in my little scheme of how I view things right now, it's a pretty good amount of time, and I have a lot of time to get things done. But it's important that I keep hustling and growing so I can be sure I reach those goals, not just reach them. I want to surpass them. I want to go way beyond them. And I want to do exactly what God wants me to do here and then some. I want to be able to help people. And positivity is everything. I've gone through periods of time where positivity was like just hard to do, and you're not able to help people. You're struggling yourself. How can you help people if you're struggling yourself? And of course you can still help people, but you're limited in how much you can help people. And I don't want you to live a limited life. I don't want a limited life. I don't want to live that life. Christ came so we all could live the abundant life. It says in John 10:10. That's what he's saying. That's the truth. It's not just positivity. It's like he overcame everything, so everything is possible with his help. Also said that choosing to be patient in busy moments is just such a amazing thing, because it's so easy to just choose to be completely lost in your work, which is good, but there's also time to be still and just know that God is God, know that you are you, and that things are going to work out somehow, because they always have and they always will. But it's easy to forget that sometimes. It's easy to not be patient. It's easy to just want immediate answers, immediate gratification, immediate paycheck. Imagine if you got paid every single day. That'd be nice, but most of us don't. Anyway, I'll probably edit that part out. Yeah. Anyway, it's so important that you are really kind to yourself about your patience, because it's so fast. If you choose to let go of the patience, man, dude, it snowballs. It snowballs. Because if you're not going to choose to be patient, you're not going to have that power, you're not going to have that positivity, you're not going to have that perspective, and what's going to come into the reins? Fear, despair, weakness, lack of desire, foolishness, whackness. Anyway, so positivity is so crucial, and that's something that we see all throughout the scriptures. Is God will say hey, be of good cheer, I'm with you, I've gone through this, all these different things. And of course these things all require patience, and of course one of my favorite examples of patience is from the life of President Russell M. Nelson of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So he was working as a surgeon, and he had tried to save this family and their kids. I think a couple of kids died, and he was a heart surgeon, and now he's the prophet. But he was working as a heart surgeon, and he was, he did everything he could to save their lives. And when he got home, they had passed, and he was really upset, and he just sat on the floor and cried, and was really, really upset and cried for a long time. And his wife just kind of sat there and let him cry. Dancel She let him cry. And then around 5 a.m., she looked at him and was like, all right, are you done crying? And he's like, yeah. She's like, well, go back to the office. And then she said something that blows my mind every single time I think about it. She told him, if you give up now, more people are going to die, or more people are going to have to learn painfully what you already know. And that is just so powerful to me, because Dancel chose to love her husband and be patient, which showed her power, her perspective, her positivity. All those different things were shown perfectly in that moment. And that lifted him up. Even though his patience might have been a bit of a struggle at the time, hers was strong, and they were able to hold on to that together. And so when you choose to be patient, you're helping other people out as well. And you can tell them that you're being patient for a reason. You're waiting for something better. That's a big part of patience. Willing to sacrifice something that's great for something better. I have a ton of video games I could be playing right now. Of course. But I also have homework, and I have this podcast, and I have my book, and I have other things I want to do that are more important to me right now. And that's just priorities. That's just life. So that's just pretty much my main 2 cents. I need to go to bed soon, but I really hope you enjoyed this episode of Yield Today. Definitely subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Stay tuned for more episodes of Yield Today coming very soon. Definitely subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, and anywhere else you might listen to podcasts except TuneIn. I need to get TuneIn on the ball. I kind of dropped the ball, and I need to pick it back up with them. So yeah, but pretty much everyone, but literally everywhere else, you can find this podcast. So I share a lot of different life tips and stuff, scriptures, my own personal experiences. I'll talk with business people. Pretty much anything goes, as long as it goes back to loving your life, loving those in your life, and making the most of your life and coming closer to God. So, well, thank you all so much for listening today. I hope you had a great time like I did. And don't forget to yield today, and it will be better tomorrow. Boom. Good job. All right.